Hello, my name is Chad Padgett here from Ninth and O Baptist Church, and I'm here today for a devotionable, a brief devotion for busy people. One of the, I think, hardest lessons in life to learn, at least for me, and it's one that I think I'm still learning, is that I need help sometimes. And I think we all need help at various times, whether it's a situation where you're trying to deal with anxiety about a situation, maybe a job situation. You may be dealing with some kind of loss in your life, a death maybe. You might need help, a situation where maybe you're in a battle with a particular kind of sin, and you need help with that battle. And many times people turn to different places for help with those situations when they arise in life. I think the first place where I tend to look sometimes is to myself, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because I'm the one with the problem. Sometimes we turn to other people, our friends, our family, other people in our lives, and we go to them for help. Sometimes we go to maybe a government or something, some sort of official source for help, and none of those are bad per se. But the psalmist in Psalm 121. Gives us sort of a different answer for where we can go for help. So this psalm is it's what's called a psalm of ascent, and it would have been something that a group of worshipers on their way to the temple were climbing up a mountain, a really long, arduous, difficult journey to worship. And he asks a question in Psalm 121, verse 1. As he says, "I lift up my eyes to the hills. From where does my help come?" And he spends the rest of the psalm, a fairly short psalm, in answering that question. But he answers the question in a way that's often different from the way that we answer the question about where do we go for help. We go to ourselves or other people or to, just somewhere else. The psalmist, though, is pretty clear in verse 2 when he says, "My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth." And the situation, the tone sort of changes starting in verse 2 all the way down to verse 8 into a song that's hopeful, a song that acknowledges why he would turn to the Lord for help in the situation that he's facing. And he makes a lot of declarations about God that I think can be helpful to us when we face difficult times in life and when we just need some help with something. But he does say a number of things about God. One, he mentions there at the end of verse 2, "My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth." There can't be anybody better or more helpful to us than the one who created everything that we see, everything that there is in the universe, the God who made the heaven and the earth. So he is the creator. In verses 3 and 4, the psalmist writes, "He will not let your foot be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. Behold, he who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep." God never promises, he never promises his follower, he never promises us an easy life or a life that's free of difficulty. We don't have that guarantee. But there is something about trusting God, and that's one of the things that I think that we're supposed to get from this. There is something about trusting God that gives us a certain stability in life, a certain security in life, and because he's not going to let our foot be moved. He's not going to let us stumble or fall. He's going to give us some stability as we deal with whatever situation that we're in or as we walk through the struggle that we're having. If I turn sometimes to my friends or even a parent, somebody who loves me a whole lot, or if I turn to them for help, sometimes my friends they just maybe don't have time to help or to give me as much help as I need because they have their own struggles. They have their own lives and they have their own commitments, their own responsibilities that they deal with. God, on the other hand, what the psalmist, I think, tells us here, God doesn't need any breaks. He doesn't. He's big enough that he can handle everybody's problems at the same time. He who keeps you will not slumber. Behold, he who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. He doesn't need to rest or take a vacation or anything like that. He's always there for us. He's always available for us. Verse 5, the Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade on your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. There's not anybody who's any closer to us than the Lord is. And he's there at our right hand. He's there as our shade. The picture that I get there is that God's presence there is sort of a refreshing presence to us. And that's something, especially if you were, on this journey up a mountain to worship in the hot, dry desert, that shade, that refreshment would be something that would give comfort to you, or that shade would be encouraging to you to finish the journey, just to learn and to finish. And finally, in verses 7 and 8, I think sort of the pinnacle of what it means for the Lord to keep us, or for the Lord to watch over us. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time forth and forevermore. He keeps our life to eternity. It's not just a temporary provision or a temporary help. He's already secured our lives with the gift of salvation. He's there in all circumstances. He's going to keep us in our going out and our coming in. That there's not any situation that we face that he's not there to keep us. He's not there to watch over us. And finally, that it's not just for a temporary. It's not just a temporary situation. He's going to keep us from this time forth and forevermore. Not just, people say sometimes until the end of time. It goes beyond that. It's for an eternity. And so I would encourage you today, with whatever situation you might be facing, you're anxious about a circumstance in your family, or you're dealing with loss, or you're battling with sin, that the ultimate place to go for help is to the Lord. He's the one where we can get the help that we need, and He's the one that's gonna watch over us and keep us. Thank you, and have a good day.